Okay, our first deck today. This is the final day before of testing I have before the RPTQ. So I'm trying out more standard decks. Our first deck is this blue-white approach deck, which is a blue-white control deck, but for the PT, people move back. A lot of players move back to playing approach in the deck because so many mid-range sideboards are relying so heavily on cards like Lifecrafter's Bestiary that just outgrind you, and approach is a way you can kind of just ignore the fact that they're drawing more cards than you. Like at some point you just end up winning the game with this card. So pretty excited to try out this list. The RPTQ is going to have a lot of green decks, because people are forced to play green decks even if they don't want to an extent. Which makes me think that Approach might actually be an okay card at the moment. Simply because a lot of the matchups where you actually want that card, namely the green decks, are very common in Unified. So, excited to see how it goes. It's also just been a while since I played Blue-White Control, and I really enjoyed this deck. Boo green decks, I know, right? We don't need no Llanowar elves around these parts. Hopefully opponent should be here in a sec. They are. They've mulled to 6, so that's pretty nice. We're going to keep this. Decent chance we cycle this farmland, depending on how we draw. Yeah, that's fair, Cambo. I've heard a bunch of people are doing that. Just because the green cards just aren't very good in this red-dominated world. Let's just get down this land. Yeah, that's how it's felt to us as well. All the green decks do just feel super medium, for sure. I'm actually going to play this farmland. We haven't drawn a 6th land yet, and we've got like a double white spell in hand. Land drops are kind of okay with this Pull from Tomorrow and Approach, so not even certain we'd actually want to cycle it. Ooh. Search for Riscanto is pretty scary. That is a very powerful card in these like mirrors and pseudo mirrors. Though they did miss their land drop, which is good for us. Yeah. Also, like, the red lists have been moving towards, like, Glory Bringers, which are bad for the green decks. The fact that there are a lot of the red decks are playing Disintegration now is really rough as well. This is a very nice one. Okay, hopefully this resolves. They need, like, a negate, specifically, like their one main deck negate. Awesome. So now we're very far ahead. They've missed their third land drop twice, and even though they have a search, we have one of our own. So I think we're pretty favoured at the moment. Obviously these games go very long though, so even being favoured at the moment could just end up not mattering too much in the long run. I want to flip search, but I also want to keep hitting my land drops this Pull from Tomorrow. So I think I'm actually inclined to keep this. Especially since like we have a lot of like removal spells in the deck that are pretty dead, that I'd rather not draw here. I'm going to slam Teferi. Could get we know they don't have negate. Obviously Teferi could get syncopated, which my opponent hasn't had a chance to use, but I think this is the best opportunity we're going to have to resolve this Teferi for quite a while. And like, if the Teferi did resolve, it'd be such a big swing. And getting Teferi syncopated is not the end of the world. Okay, they're hitting their land drops now. They probably have a draw 2 in hand. I'm going to keep the Disallow quite happily. Pass the turn. They go for a draw 2, we could go for a Pull from Tomorrow. You just witnessed the end of the world. Can confirm, getting Teferi exiled was the end of the world. I don't think I'm going to pull from tomorrow here. I'm just going to untap. Ooh, Field of Ruin is great. Because now we have an answer to search for Azcanta. We even have a disallow to protect it from like an opposing disallow. Which is pretty huge. Thanks, Jarvis. Oh my god. Oh my god. I could Stone Rain them. It seems like kind of a waste. I regret not Stone Raining them. It was incorrect, but... As in, like, Stone Raining would have been incorrect. But Stone Raining is so much more rewarding than just sitting here. It's actually possible that I could just, like, slam approach there. If it trades with a counterspell, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'm wondering if I was just meant to slam approach there. Like, trading with a counterspell was fine. And, otherwise it, like, makes the... Yeah, exactly, Jarvis. It doesn't actually achieve anything, the first one getting countered. Okay, I think this turn I'm going to slam the approach. If they want to counter it, I'm entirely okay with that. And now they're just dead if we ever resolve an approach, which is pretty threatening. That's true, Kaylee. It prevents it from getting put back so that we can't redraw it. That would be like the upside there. Hitting land drops is good, but so is flipping my search for Azcanta. So I feel like I'm actually just going to mill this. Yeah, I suspect that too, Jarvis. Ooh, blink of an eye. I think that's fine. I could resolve a decent pull from tomorrow here. If I wanted. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, draw 7, discard 1. That seems great. They get to like untap and do something, but... Like the other option is I can draw 4, discard 1 and hold up disallow. But I feel like this puts... We are going to have to like discard some removal on our end step too. So we're going to go up to 10 cards, discard 3. So like a seal away and like a fumigate or something. Yeah, I think I like max greed. I think it puts us like so far ahead. Obviously we're going to have to discard 3 cards, but our hand is just going to be stacked. 0 land drops, that's the thing. Right, so seal away can go. And we discard 3 on end step. Which is probably going to be a seal away, a settle, and something else. Yep, they can't tap out anymore, you're right, Kaylee, that's great. For sure. Would I rather discard seal away or settle as my final card? I'm not really sure. Sealways, honestly, like, yeah, you'd rather discard Settle. It's tough. Sealways, honestly, like, awkward against Gearhulk, because then they just get to turn their Blink of an Eyes into counterspells. But giving them a land is also not great, and this is more expensive. So, and they've already used a Blink of an Eye. They probably have 2 at absolute most. They, like, there's no way they have more than 2 Blink of an Eyes, and even the second one's, like, in doubt. So I guess I just discard the Settle. Alright, land drop, please. Awesome. I guess I just do this. I can be smart and leave it Field of Ruin, huh? Not that it affects anything. So I can disallow this, and then next turn I have Approach with Disallow up again, which will, like, almost certainly kill them. I think I like that. This lets them use a Syncopate nicely if they have one, but the chance that they're not dead next turn is so minimal. Cool. 2 disallows. Now, even though they're potentially flipping Search, if they manage to stop the Approach, they don't actually get an extra search activation out of it, most likely. Which is good. Alright. I think I just want to do this again. If it goes badly, we're probably unfavored from that point, but it's so unlikely not to win. They need 2 counterspells. They've already been through, like, 4 of their counterspells. I guess Gearhulk gets to work here if they have a Negate or a Syncopate in hand. But otherwise they're relying on, like, their 2 remaining disallows plus, like, one of those. Cool. Let's just do this. Hope it resolves. Sick. Those approaches were better than anticipated. I feel like those overperformed. I'm just going to take a quick look at this sideboard guide. Okay. Imagine it's all fairly straightforward. So, negates seem great. Histories seem great. Knights seem great. Yeah, BBD said that in his article. For like exactly the reason we saw there, where you just like stop them ever tapping out. And you have like more relevant cards. Because like otherwise you only have like these 6 as relevant cards. That have to be like interacted with. I could bring in some number of invokes. They kill Gearhulks and Searchers. I think I like just these. I think the Lyras are probably pretty bad. So, the Sealways seem like Garbo. The Fumigates are Garbo. The Settles are probably Garbo. Walking Ballista could be decent too. Walking Ballista deals with Might of Malice, which is like a scary card. Do we want to cut Approaches? I guess we do, because they're bringing in Negates, right? Which make these a lot less scary. Even like Duresses make these less impactful, because like if you ever have to hold them in your hand for later in the game, it's like pretty unexciting. I think I like this setup. Yeah, I think I agree that Lyra seems too expensive. I think Ballista might end up being really important though. The Knight of Malices potentially could be pretty problematic for us if our opponent has them and draws them. This hand's nice. Turn 3 history. We're on the draw, so this is probably getting countered, but... Ooh, good luck, Jarvis. Please crush. Am I playing this farmland? Probably not. Just like play the fortress. And then like potentially cycle this later. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, George. Just like hedge towards the risk of like drawing more lands from here. Especially since post-board, like, you're more likely to cycle these, since your curve's a bit lower, with histories and knights as threats. Okay, they took the negate. Means they probably have an answer to this. We drew the single best card in our deck, because we're great. Single best draw, not close. They took it because they have Bloodfast. Bloodfast would be pretty unbeatable. Luckily they don't have it. Yeah, pretty sure Search was the best draw on our deck. Ooh, I actually keep that. But if he wants to, like, I guess I can just jam history this turn anyway. This card seems really good against them though. Like, at some point I want to start holding up this for, like, Searches and Bloodfasts off the top of their deck. I don't think I have to do it quite yet, though. I can slam history this turn quite happily. Also, just flipping Search soon would be kind of nice, though, which might incline me to mill this. And we can definitely mill more aggressively post-board, because we've got a lot less air in our deck now. So we're, like, less at risk of drawing air. I think I'm going to keep this. And I'm probably just going to play this farmland. And play the knight, since they 100% have a counterspell up for this anyway. Cool, that's fine. That means our history isn't getting syncopated. With Search and Play, I'm pretty happy just playing up my Psycho land, I think. Since Search is going to stop us from flooding a bit anyway. I think I'm just going to mill this to try and flip my Search sooner. I already have a couple lands in hand anyway. And then I think I'm just jamming history. Just like eat up another counterspell, stop them glimmering this turn. Fill up our yard for our Search, if they don't have a syncopate, and they counter it a different way. Cool. For sure, George, they are. Holy cow, that's a strong one. right. um, this is a hell of a thing. I guess we get a Teferi, but this is a bit scary for us. Don't know if I'm blinking one of these just now. I can do it on that end step instead. I'm not sure that holding up Syncopate for 1 achieves much. Save it to save Teferi from Contempt. Good call. That makes sense. I just feel like they're just going to try and attack down Teferi though, is the thing. I feel like they can just attack Teferi a bunch. Rather than try and Contempt Teferi. Okay, our turn. I really would like to hit my land drops, but I get 2 draws with the fairies plus. I need to find answers to these. This might be greedy. Right, so we get to draw an extra card. We can take out this island, pass the turn. We could bounce Teferi here, so that we get to draw a card off the blink, which seems pretty good. Just like keep drawing a million cards, outdraw these Siphoners. Yeah, I think we gotta find Ballista. I agree. Honestly, the fact all these like blue-black decks have like multiple Siphoners in their board might be a reason to like have more Ballistas. Ballista's pretty great. That is also pretty great. Am I just main phasing this? Or, you know, end of turning this? I guess I can upkeep it. Then they can Gearhulk me, which is pretty rough. I think I'm just gonna do this here though. It's like really big swing if it resolves. Now they only have the 1 Siphoner, which Teferi can eat. And like, once they only have 1 Siphoner, the Siphoners draw cards a lot slower too. Ah, interesting. They bounced our cast out instead of their Siphoner. That's pretty surprising to me. Oh, they are Esper. So we didn't see white game 1, but they do have Teferi in their deck, so we have to respect that now. Now that we've seen the isolated chapel. Yes, this is why they bounce the cast out, so that they can take it with Doomfall. Makes sense. Essence Scatter. It's pretty good against Gearhulk, which is a card that's going to be a concern at some point. Again, I still just kind of want to flip this Search though. Alright, let's cast a fairy. I'm just gonna plus here. I know, right? Steven? Shocking, isn't it? That's fine. We're like kind of treading water, okay? I almost wonder if like I have to keep a fumigate or two in because of this nonsense. I don't know. When I'm on the Esper side, I always feel like the Glint Sleeve plan is kind of awkward against blue-white, because if they ever resolve a history, this is just like a dead card then. But like, obviously they're looking amazing this game. Gonti. Probably have to try and counter that. They're probably gonna counter back, I imagine. And force the Gonti to resolve? No. Stop! Okay. If we ever find Walking Ballista, we win the game. So that's nice. Guess we're just gonna draw more cards. I could take the Disallow. So what's happening here? I'm playing my land. I have 5 mana. Untap Azcanta in a land. I have 7. So I can take the Disallow, and then I get to activate Azcanta, cast Disallow. I do have to find Ballista though, I think, to be in this game. So it might just be correct just to pull from Tomorrow here, since it gives us the most looks. Most looks at a Ballista. Yeah, I like that. I think we do just have to find a Ballista. And then end of turn, I'm just going to cast a big pull from Tomorrow, before my opponent can untap and have their mana up. We're going to have to like discard a bunch here, but that's fine. We just want to dig for Ballista. I don't think these rivulets are going to be too relevant. Kind of like my other lands more. Steven's also probably partially sitting in the middle because I hate sitting in the middle. I kind of like doing my own thing in my matches, which makes me like a really bad person to have in the middle. Opponent has drawn 6 cards off Siphoners this game. Oh god, Field of Ruin. Take down our Azcanta. Gross. Huh. They let us untap. I guess we're just going to draw a bunch of cards and then die. That's probably the game plan. So I can go history with negate backup. History tokens will start blocking these next turn. They have a syncopate. I'm punished for not playing the field, but I kind of want to get a tap land down if possible. I guess syncopate would make not tapping the field, using the Field of Ruin, make sense, huh? But There we go. Alright. So this kind of deals with one Siphoner. Because next turn we get to double block. Then we can Teferi tuck another Siphoner this turn. They can try and counter this, I guess. Oh, they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. That's a lot of mana. I guess I can just activate as counter cycle this turn. If they have a removal spell, I die. Yeah. I mean, Syncopate doesn't counter or contempt anyway, right? So I kind of need to find a negate regardless. That's true, George, because we don't want to shuffle the Ballista back in. I mean, we have no choice over that because of the field. The field's going to put the Ballista back in, but that makes some amount of sense, what you're saying. I wish I had a second Ballista in my sideboard right now. Just make the Siphoner plan way worse. I actually might board in a Fumigate because of this. What? Okay, okay. It's pretty good here. Right. Where is the Chain Whirler? I know, right? We need some Cascade Bluffs and some Chain Whirlers. Sounds great. I'm actually going to bring in one of these Fumigates and feel really embarrassed about it. What am I taking out? The Blink of an Eyes aren't the best. The Invokes are fine, but they only have I guess it hits Gearhulks as well. I might trim one of these to make room for the Fumigate. I don't know if I could play a second Fumigate even. That's probably extreme. I wonder if Seal is better than Fumigate just because it's so much cheaper to cast. Fumigate's way better in those scenarios where they have multiple Glint Sleeve Siphoners, but they do also have Blink of an Eye, which is decent against this. I think I kind of like the single Fumigate. I think I'm kind of down with that idea. Hey there, Nick. Hope you're having a good day so far. We are currently losing to Glint Sleeve Siphoner a lot. And learning how busted Walking Ballista is. Card is messed up. Alright, we'll play first. Sure, whatever. This hand seems very unexciting, but keepable. Got History on the play, which is kind of nice. Obviously you could do like another blue source at some point, but other than that I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, opponent's on a Malta 6. And they scry to the top. Splash Chain Weller. Yeah, all you need is some Cascade Bluffs, Nick. Cascade Bluff solves everything. Ooh, blue land. So lucky. Am I cycling this cast out? I don't think so. Kind of like want to ensure I hit my 5th land for Teferi, but I guess this is fine. I think I'm just gonna slam the history here, like force them to have one of their like 5 answers. Yeah, I guess on our 4th turn we have an opportunity to cycle it if need be, and still hold up disallow, right? Ooh, or we can nab this with the cast out. Also great. We are now tap out control. Okay, I don't think I want to just like slam my Teferi here. I think I'm just gonna pass the turn. Irrigated farmland, huh? I guess I'm probably gonna like crack the Memorial to Genius in that end step. Going down on mana is not great though. I kind of want the 4th blue source in play for these disallows. I'm actually gonna play the farmland. We're gonna need the extra blue source at some point soonish. Hitting land drops is nice when we're just playing draw go here. I think I'm gonna draw 2 in that end step. Huh. Duress. I have double disallow up. I could just counter that and like conceal info. I think I'm gonna let it resolve though. If they don't slam a thread afterwards, I just get to divinate off my Memorial to Genius by not using my mana there. I think I quite like drawing 2 here. Like, we lose our 4th blue source, but we're quite likely to draw into 1 off like our draw step and these 2 cards. Are they disallowing this? That's fine with me. Trading a land with a counterspell. Hey, Caius. Hope your day's going well so far. Oh wow. That's pretty strong. Oh no. Really sad to hear that. I hope it improves then. That makes complete sense. Well, you currently get to watch the thrills of a Drogo mirror to take your mind off it. This card is better post-board. Like, they have a lot more high impact cards post-board, so I think I'm actually just going to counter this. Even though it looks kind of aggressive. We have, like, another counter spell in hand anyway. Hey there, Teresa. I don't know what I do if... I think if they counter back, I probably let it resolve. Selling your soul and playing mono red? Is that at PPTQ? Is that really selling your soul? You've played mono red like how many times? I think if that's selling your soul, that means you've already sold your soul at some point before. I think I'm just letting this resolve rather than countering it. I don't want to spend, like, my second disallow on this Glimmer. I also just don't want to tap out, particularly. I love how you're slowly just, like, removing colours. Mardu vehicles to black red, mid-range to mono red. Soon you'll be on, like, colourless aggro. This Knight of Grace, looking incredible. Slight sarcasm. I agree, George. I find mono red very tricky to play well. I just don't want to spend counters on Glimmers, you know? I just don't want to spend counters on Glimmers. I don't know if I can go for a pull from tomorrow here. Having them resolve a Teferi would be kind of a disaster. I think I just have to let this resolve. Oh my gosh. Convermin, thank you so much for the big chair. I really appreciate it. Okay, passing the turn back. Now we can start swinging with our mighty steed. Currently we can pull for 4 with counter backup, but I think I'm just going to chill. Interesting. Let's try and scatter this. Okay, and now I think's a good I feel like they'd have tried to protect the Gearhulk, right? This might be aggressive. I feel like I'm pretty far behind at the moment. They didn't, like, even try and protect the Gearhulk for a second. If they have a Syncopate, it's pretty embarrassing. It feels like Syncopate's going to catch this at some point anyway, though. Teferi time? Yep. The pull might have been aggressive. I just felt like I was really far behind. And resolving this is like a way I could get back into the game. Obviously, this is a horrific problem, though. Gearhulk. Yeah. think this is pretty over. Sadly, despite being in the red clock zone, I think we're probably dead. I'm just gonna scoop this one up. I don't think a standard banning's coming. I think Chain Whirler will be around a bit longer. I could imagine some like unbannings happening. I'm gonna quickly head to the bathroom before our second match. I'll be back in 1 minute. Cool. I return. Unban everything. Might be a bit extreme. So I did see something interesting. Like, someone posted on Twitter about the fact that there are like these hate cards in M19, and some of them seem like targeted at cards that have already been banned, and like maybe that means they're gonna try and unban some of them for a few months. It might just be like a bit too risky to unban cards. But I could see like standard being higher power level now, at like 8 set standard, and with like hate cards coming in, maybe they free a few cards. There was clearly a tokens deck they thought was busted, I know, right? They did not like tokens. It isn't even just like the Plague Mare Horse and Chain Whirler and stuff, it's also like there's the Wrath effect that hits enchantments and artifacts if you want it to, that hoses the tokens decks of old. So the one card I think is legitimately terrifying to unban is Copter. I think Copter's just like way too efficient, fits into way too many decks. I'd be pretty scared if that one got unbanned. But I think most of the others like are not necessarily the most terrifying things in the world now. I guess I'd be a bit scared of Ramunap Ruins too, since the red decks are like already the best decks in standard. Ramunap Ruins could be a bad idea to release onto the world. Okay, that is a Bomat Courier. Luckily we have the seal away, so the game's not like over, which is nice. It's going to peck across a few times, but... Alright, Kari Zev as well. We certainly have the curve out. It's kind of awkward. We're going to need to get rid of the courier at some point, but like letting them resolve a Chain Dweller is a very, very fast clock. So we take 4, go to 14, counter Chain Dweller, and then seal away the Bomat. I think I'm just meant to pass the turn. I think I meant to. It's kind of rough. If this was like a Soulscar Mage, I think this game would be quite a bit easier. Just because the card draw wouldn't be so threatening. I think I'm just going to take 4. Hold up my counter magic. Excuse me. Gosh. So if they play a Chain Dweller, I can counter it, which is good. Yeah, I think I have to counter this just to stop their board going too wide. Right. So I can hold up counter magic, or I can kill the courier. I guess I have cast out for a Hazoret if they resolve one. So that's not the end of the world. I think I'm just gonna like take away this courier right now. You think I get rid of Kari Zev or counter their 4-drop and go to 10? Worst thing that happens is they drop Chandra, which, yeah, I can like negate or whatever. Getting use out of my negate is nice. I don't know, I am a bit scared of this courier, just like stocking up cards for them. He already has 3 cards. If I don't deal with it now, it's going to draw like 5 or 6 most likely. I just feel like if they use the opportunity to resolve a Chandra or Hazoret I have cast out as an answer. It does leave me in a position where my counter magic gets really bad though. I guess I have to pass the turn for that reason. If I'm sitting here like sealing away this thing and cast outing their next play, then my counter magic just looks really awkward because they'll still have like a developed board. I don't think I can justify spending a counter spell on this. I think this just resolves. And now this becomes the seal away turn. So we're guaranteed taking 5. The question is, which of these are we exiling? This saves us more life. I guess they can't sack this too soon, right? because they're missing a land drop. So like they're just going to end up discarding cards if they do that. So I actually kind of want to seal away this and just save myself some life. I could also seal away this, which saves me like 1 more life this turn, but 1 less for each following turn. So like next turn, this would be break even. And then the turn after it saved us 1 less. My inclination is to get rid of Card Reserve here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then I take 3 and go to, I take 5 even and go to 9. Because of the monkey. You would hit the Bomat. It's fair. I think this is fine. Like, they probably have a bunch of 4-drops in their hand, so if they sack the Bomat, they just lose loads of high impact cards. Oh, they had a shock. Okay. Yeah, I could have done that. Then they get to untap and like slam a 4-drop. Maybe I just have to like hope to fade on their 4th land drop though, so that they can't do that. Chandra. So that's something I can negate. I go to 4. Probably have to, like, I can negate this, cast out the courier, and hope their final card is like an Abrade or something. The other option is I could cycle cast out and just try and hit a Wrath effect for next turn. Yeah, we definitely have to negate this, I agree. There's like a non-zero argument for cycling cast out and just hoping to find a Fumigate. The courier is never being sacked at this point, I don't think. They're just gonna like force us to use something on it. Ooh, okay, that's really good for us. I guess we're still dead to a lightning strike here, but taking 1 less damage means a shock isn't lethal. Do I cycle this? It can answer the courier. I'm just concerned that like spending 4 mana to answer the courier leaves us dead to so much. It might be correct just to cycle this and try and find Fumigate. We have like 2 Fumigates in our main deck. If we find a Fumigate, we're like very in this game. I think I'm actually going to do this. You would cast out the courier. Yeah, I just, like, then they put us to 3 with this. And we're dead to so many cards the rest of the game. I just feel like finding a Fumigate's so high upside. So we're gonna like slam a Hazoret or something. Yeah, I can disallow the courier ability. For sure. I mean, I need to disallow the courier ability. The first thing I need to do is like survive though. I need to find a Wrath or something so that I don't die here. Now I have to disallow this, or else I'm literally dead on board. I'm a tiny bit surprised my opponent's still playing around Seal Away. I feel like if I had Seal Away last turn, I would have Seal Away'd the Earthshaker Khenra. I guess they don't know what's in my hand though. They don't know like how weak my position is in terms of my hand. So it kind of makes sense. Okay. Very unlikely to win this one, but crossing my fingers, I guess. I can confirm I am not playing Steel Stompy at Legacy, George. Alas. Oh, how I wish I was. I will sideboard in a second. Okay, so Lyra seems amazing. Histories seem really good. I think Knights are probably good. They block well early. Meltdown and Ballista are both considerations too. So bring all this stuff in. I am not in love with Search. I'm not in love with Negates. I think the Glimmer and the Pull from Tomorrow can probably go. Just like trim on this stuff, trim a Teferi. We could cut the Approaches. They do gain life, but they're very expensive and we're like taking out some card draw. I feel like we just win with this stuff, right? Yeah, I don't like Blinks much either, agree. Especially when we're bringing in like all these other cheap plays, right? And we can cut a Fumigate. I agree with that too. I kind of want to bring this stuff in. Yeah, cut the Approaches. I think I agree with that as well. We have all these other ways to like win the game now. Martin Dang says history is bad versus red. Huh. Because they go bigger post board, maybe? Kind of surprised by that. Oh my god. I think I'll keep one Search. I guess maybe Teferi could be better than the Search. Search is certainly not the best. We're also boarding in like 6 creatures, which makes Search a bit worse as well. Kinda like that. Just like get to keep in the 4th Teferi this way. The only other consideration is whether we want like a Glimmer over one of the Fumigates. But I think I do like having like one sweeper left in on top of the Settles. I'm gonna try this. Alright. I would like to go first. Okay, this hand seems reasonable. Yeah, for sure, you want to be doing other stuff on turn 2. That makes complete sense. It's kind of awkward, these tap plans. Like, we want to go scatter into disallow, but we might not be able to. my nemesis. Okay, Syncopate means we can now just play out our planes and go counterspell into counterspell. I'm gonna have to answer the courier at some point, but I guess it doesn't have to be immediately. He just wants to deliver his parcel. Courier's trying his hardest. Yes, I'm just gonna scatter this. Feels like almost a waste. I have this Fumigate in hand for later, right? I'm gonna be trying to like turn 5 Fumigate. I think this is just... I'm just gonna let this resolve. Might be incorrect, but lets me keep my scatter, and we're like probably gonna be turn 5 fumigating this game anyway. Yeah, I think I agree. Letting Solskjaer. This is legitimately the hardest name for me to pronounce in Standard. I always mess it up. Or like feel like I'm messing it up. Which is kind of embarrassing because it's like not even that complicated a name. I think just like the pseudo alliteration kind of catches me off. Okay. So we go down to 16. Okay, that's a lightning strike, that's fine. So we go down to 12. Ooh, another Soul Scar. It's gonna make this Fumigate nice. At least. I'm gonna hold the farmland now. I guess I'm gonna do that. So now we counter whatever they play this turn and Fumigate next turn. Cross our fingers that they don't have a Chandra to follow up with. They might actually not attack with everything because of Settle, which is kind of exciting. Like, we are repping Settle at the moment. Yeah, for sure, Kaylee. We're probably just going to see like 2 critters come our way. Yeah. So we just take the 2. They might have a strike or something, but... They do. Mismatching strikes. Alright, so this puts us to 9 and then we go to 5. But the Fumigate's going to gain us some life. Like, we could counter the strike. It's not unreasonable to do that. Just like use the Syncopate as a gain free. It means we only go to 8. And then we gain some life. I think I'm interested in syncopating this. Just as a gain free. I would say specifically it's very important that your mountains don't match Teresa. Every mountain should look different. Preferably with like white borderlands sitting next to full art lands. Oh my god. Alright, fumigate time. I am ready for this fumigate. I am ready to lose to their Chandra next turn. Might see a sacked Bomat. Nope. They want the 2 cards that are in the hand. That's good for us. Or bad for us. It's probably bad for us, actually. It's probably more bad for us. At least if they cast a Chandra, we can like cycle the farmland as a redraw towards a cast out. I must admit, I do not care particularly whether my lands match or not in Constructed. Karizev, okay. Interesting. So I could just pass the turn and hold up Memorial. Kinda like that. Just gonna pass the turn here. Hold up counter spells, hold up Memorial. If I have to counter something, I can cycle the farmland. I'm not just approving it, I'm encouraging it, Teresa. I encourage specifically non-matching mountains. Okay, going to 8. Six matching ones, the rest non-matching. Alright, I'm going to cycle this, and then I'm going to Essence Scatter this. Make it look like we got very lucky. This blocks the monkey, right? Means we don't get to draw 2 this turn, but... They might have, a shock or something in hand for this Knight of Grace. Or a Lightning Strike. Or an Earth, Shaker, Kenra. I probably have to counter that. It represents 4 extra damage this turn. It's kind of a sad one to counter, especially with them on 4 lands. We get to block the monkey. Just go to 7. Now we're in the awkward position where if our opponent draws lands or spells, it's good for them, because this is in the yard. Okay. Alright. Cast my Knight of Grace. You can double block your Karizev now. I'm ready to die to your Chandra. "12 matching and 12 non-matching. That's horrifying, Teresa. Oh my god. I get to kill the Kenra here at least. Gonna drop to 4. So if I double block Kari next turn, I'm dead to a lightning strike, or like forced to counter a lightning strike. That is a pretty unrealistic draw. Okay. That's fair, Kaylee. I feel like it doesn't make much difference one way or the other, but... Are we attacking at all? We do have to close this game. But I'm gonna get like vigilance tokens, and my board blocks their board now. I think I'm just not attacking this turn. And then next turn I get to start swinging with things. And then we'll have like the big final stage turn. Yeah, the knights are indeed knights. This is a statement that is true, Caius. This can't attack or block, but yes, I'm countering it. So it gets pretty scary pretty quickly. Okay. Make another knight. So I can attack with 2. Can I attack with 3 and force them into chump block mode next turn? They go to 16. We have the seal away to try and like stop us from dying. Can seal away the monkey token. The safer option is doing this. Which doesn't leave them dead next turn, but is like way safer and makes things more awkward for them. I think I prefer just doing this. Like, there are like so many cards they could have to stop themselves having to chump block next turn anyway. I feel like just pushing 2 damage is reasonable. Keeping our first striker back for the monkey. That's pretty strong. Jeez. We're gonna have to... I guess they're gonna exert this, right? So we don't have to seal away immediately. Yeah, we are... Oh, yeah, we're at 4. Good point. Well presented. Slight detail. I am at 4. Yep. Losing our first striker is brutal. So, I doubt they still have shock in their deck. So I think 3 is basically the same as 2, so I'm just going to double block the Kari Zev and take her off the board permanently. Go Knight Tribal. Put U2 6. I can chump block an Earthshaker. If they chump block one creature, they die. So they kind of have to try and kill me this turn. But I like a Glorybringer or that. That also works. My game was really close. I guess this is the scenario where 3 is better than 2, right? But it would have meant blocking the monkey. We'd have lost a token, just like lost all our clock. So I think we still wanted to take down Kari last turn. This is not the world's most encouraging start to a blue-white league. Kind of weird. Back when I was originally playing this deck, the mono red matchup actually felt pretty good to me. I think not having Torrential Gearhulk like makes a big difference there though. The fact that all the blue white lists now just don't have Gearhulk in their main deck probably makes the matchup quite a bit tougher. Because you always put them in the situation where, like, if they didn't have a Braid, Gearhulk would just stick and be in play for the rest of the game. And, like, dominate the board. I don't have any blue Gearhulks or Spyglass because I have my Unified Standard RPTQ this weekend. And the Gearhulks and Spyglass would likely end up in a different deck if we were to play this. So I'm trying out this list without those cards. Yeah, I said it right at the start, so like it's an easy thing to have missed. The sound seems fine. Got a counter, got a Wrath. The stream is to determine how terrible this deck is without them. Oh my god. Ooh. It's pretty threatening. I guess they're on blue-black mid-range, most likely. With very awkward mana draw. Hand has 2 win cons, must be bad. Clearly this deck just has too many win cons, right? Right, I would like to draw Plains next turn. That's just rude. Jeez. Mm-hmm. One to fairy, only win con, go. That sounds quite a bit more challenging. Alright, alright. Plains, next turn. Please. We can do this, I believe. I believe in you, deck. How did your blue-white deck end up performing? Your team's blue-white deck, Teresa? Like, I don't... Countering that just feels like such a waste. They probably have... Their hand's, like, really awkward, right? Based on their mana situation. We might be stumbling around for a little while here. Yeah, I agree. Countering it. Don't let them loot away their fatal pushes. Okay. Farmland is good. It's not quite a plains, but I'll take it. We can counter any scary plays here. Then we have Settle next turn for the Siphoner, which is good. I mean, it literally is a plains. This is true. This is true. Okay. Could just cast out this. I think I want to settle it though. They get to draw a card then. What's the problem? I feel like I want to hold cast out so I can actually... I guess I have Teferi that deals with Scarab God. So it's only like specifically Liliana's that is annoying. They could have like a Supreme Will, in which case I'd rather cast the Settle. I think I'm just going to cast out this and stop them drawing their card. Cool. That's good for us. They didn't use their mana for a turn. Oh my god, we really needed to hit a land that. Yep. Okay. They're gonna get to draw 4. They won't have Disallow Caius. They're on blue-black mid-range. They'll have like Supreme Will and Essence Scatter as their counter spells. Max punished. Yeah. I kind of felt like we probably needed to hit a 5th land anyway. If we hit the 5th land, we have Teferi. But definitely pretty close to max punish. Oh my god. Rip. I wonder what I meant to discard here. Maybe Syncopate. They're already like outclassing me on mana by so much. I might just have to like disallow this to like buy a turn. This is kind of gross. Yeah, I agree. I agree with disallowing this for sure. You much prefer this deck to the blue-black I was on yesterday? Yeah, to be fair, the blue-black I was on yesterday is not my favourite build of blue-black. I think I prefer, like, Jerry Thompson's style of blue-black to, like, most of the decks in Standard. I think it's really good. Once you, like, put, like, Supreme Wills and stuff in your main deck, and make yourself a bit more bigger and controlling. Any thoughts on Grixis control? I don't really understand the motivation to go Grixis, I guess. Like, I don't know where the red is coming from. Nicol Bolas. Magma Sprays. Black's removal's already so good though. You already have like Contempt and Fatal Push and Cast Down. Like, Magma Spray makes you a bit better against Scrounger, but other than that, I feel like the black removal is just so amazing. We did lose to Mono Red, George. Opponent was a master. Yeah, the matchup did feel a bit harder without access to Gearhulks than I remember it being. The last time I played Blue-White was like the old Gearhulk lists with like Gearhulks and Glimmers in the main deck. So if I counter this, I die. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, so I'm not enthusiastic about this matchup. What do we bring in? I guess Knight of Grace is not the worst. It's like very hard for them to remove. I feel like you get to a point in the game where it just gets brick-walled by a Scarab God though, you know? Or a champion token. I guess if they get a Scarab God or champion token in play, you're already dead. I don't know. When I was playing that deck, and the settles seemed kind of garbo. I guess I'd rather use like this stuff to keep their small creatures in control than like settles. Settles seems really bad against Champion of Wits. Just like give them loads of mana to work with. And they don't really go wide for this either. Yeah, I agree with taking all the settles out. I think we need this stuff just to like, almost just to mize wins against their deck. So I could side out a Blink and a Fumigate maybe. Could also bring in the Ballista. They have Siphoner, right? Invoke for Bloodfast. I'm worried that that's a bit narrow. Like any game where they don't draw Bloodfast, you just have a dead card in your deck. If it was the cycle disenchant, I think I might consider it. It also hits like Spyglass as well. I think I like something like this. I could just cut all the Fumigates. Let's try this, This seems fine. I guess I could bring in Aether Meltdown against Champion of Wits, that's kind of adorable. Trigger on the stack, etc. Ooh, that is a very good draw. That has to be one of our best cards in the matchup. I get to duress us here, but we landed this, so we don't really care. They don't actually discard 2. They just choose not to use the trigger, but yes, it does seem very good. I agree with that. I'm just use this to get my second white source this turn. Just like aggressively field them. You are indeed a ninja, George. Confirmed ninja. Find our planes, fill up our yard for our search. Seems decent. I do need to hit lander ups, but I also just really want to flip this like super soon, and I've got a land in hand and this glimmer potentially, so I think this is fine. I'm just gonna pass the turn. If they want to counter my glimmer, then like I'm threatening to make Teferi. So they get to draw a card next turn off the Siphoner. That is fine. They probably can't counter this Glimmer because they know we have Teferi in hand. These are both amazing, jeez. Easy top. And I think I still just try and aggressively flip this. I can play knight this turn. I could play the Ballista on 1. Like guaranteed get the Siphoner out of play. Because I have negate backup. Which is like fine. Like, a bit of me feels like I can get more out of this. Like, if I cast this and they counter it, then next turn I flip search, have 6 mana, cast a Ballista for 2, kill this. Stopping them drawing a card is nice though. I guess I'm just gonna go for this. Awesome, resolved. So now we get to pass the turn with Disallow up. Our yard has 6 cards in it, so we can transform search next turn if we want. Means if we draw a land, we can go to Teferi with negate backup, which is kind of unreal. If they cast a spell here, they know we have Teferi in hand, so that's really scary for them. Spyglass. Oh god, they're gonna counter over this. Oh, right. I'm gonna negate your Spyglass, and you're gonna negate my negate. And I'm gonna feel very sad. Yep. Yes. They might just have to name Azcanta if they have removal for Teferi in hand. It's kind of tough. I'm actually kind of interested in the land. I know they have a field. We have a Disallow though for the field. Oh, sweet Cambo. Oh, we'll look at that after the stream, I imagine. I'm going to keep this. Because it lets me activate Azcanta and keep up Disallow to protect Azcanta. Which seems really strong to me. Yeah, M19's been looking really great from the spoilers I've seen, for sure. So I guess I just lead with this. I can activate Azcanta on end step. Once I have like more info about what I care about. That was a pretty great Disallow, if I've ever seen one. Oh my god, another? Too kind. I think I'm just going to do the same thing. Hold up Disallow, activate Escanter. Rather than cast my Knight of Grace here, just like stop them getting anything on the board. Yeah, we Stone Rain them too. I'm always on board with Stone Raining someone. The blue Stone Rain. We don't really need a clock. We're drawing lots of cards here. Found a cast out for that Sorcerer's Spyglass now. Yeah. Opponent's very done. Yeah, opponent knew about the Disallow and went for it anyway, which is kind of surprising. But I'm not complaining. Do we open the Ether Meltdown over the Fumigate? Just because of Champion of Wits. This is like a counter spell for Champion of Wits. I'm a bit scared of Siphoner with us on the draw, but we'll try this out. Seems fine. We've got an answer to Siphoner. The rest of the hand is like perfectly reasonable. Opponent's on a Multi 5. Multi 5 and they put a card on the bottom. So that's really good for us. Cool. I'll take it. So Meltdown is for Champion of Wits. When they cast Champion, you cast Meltdown on it, and then they don't get to use the trigger. And at like some point, if they ever want to like flash it back, they have to like find an opportunity to chump block with it. I'm not sure if it's good enough, but anyway. I'm gonna pop to the bathroom a sec, and then we'll hop into our fourth match with Blue-White Approach. Okay, into our fourth match. I am gonna go first. I assume this is a mole. You kind of need your land drops, and we have like this Memorial to Genius. How do people feel about this? Is this a mole or not? I assume it's a mole. But the Memorial to Genius means like turn 6, a land can become a divination. If you have a yeah, I think I agree that the hand's just too bad. If you have a creature that gives +1/+1 to target creature when it dies, and then you sacrifice that creature. I am unsure as to what you're asking. Yeah, I'm gonna mole. I think I agree. Well, we need some blue sources, but I guess this is better than our 7. It's got like a bit more action. Yeah, that's very small sample size. I'd like a blue source that doesn't deal damage, but I don't think I can ship like any blue source here. So I'm gonna keep it. Ooh. The fearsome black-red. Exciting. They play a Heart of Kiran here. It's kind of scary. Or they could play nothing. That's also a thing that could happen. I don't think I'm going to cycle this cast out quite yet. If it looks like we're gonna miss our 5th land drop for Teferi, I might cycle the cast out, since I would like to resolve Teferi. PNLR. If they'd cast the Chain Whirler, I think I would let it resolve because of the seal away. But I think PNLR is annoying enough because of the second body being good against Teferi. I'm just gonna counter her. And I'm going to keep hold of this cast out, because now we've used up our Syncopate, I'm a bit scared of Planeswalkers, and we still have 2 draws towards our 5th land. Can I cycle this disallow, please? Soulscar Mage. Yep. Okay, now I think I'm cycling cast out, just to try and find my land. Okay. Yep. I mean, Settle's pretty good. If they cast any more creatures, at least. And our hand is still, like, reasonably strong. Yeah, this is good. Now we can settle 2 creatures. I think this is, like, worthy enough of a settle. The board's not actually that threatening. But we do need to get rid of Courier at some point, and clearly their hand's just, like, a bunch of removal spells, right? I quite like the board clear in case we draw our 5th land, because then we can just slam Teferi. So I think this is fine. This is like a very aggressive settle, but I think this is fine. Yeah, I think this settle's good, Kaylee. Agree. That is not the 5th land I was looking for, but I'll take it. Still in a fine spot. Dargon. Alright, we get to seal away the Dargon. Cast a Fairy, have Blink of an Eye up. To protect the Fairy from all manner of things. I think Teferi's like the best card in the deck by a fair distance. It depends how like spiky your FNMs are though. Like, I've definitely been to FNMs where you'd be fine playing this without Teferis, and I've definitely been to FNMs where, like, there's no way in hell I'd play this without Teferis. So it depends just on, like, what your store's like. Ooh, PNLR's pretty good. The blink of an eye answers the Thopter nicely, so that's good. Let's draw a card. Cast out is decent. I am gonna blink this Thopter. Since they can pump it to hurt Teferi. I'm doing this main phase because then I untap some mana and have cast out up. I guess it's not too relevant. Oh, they can sack the Thopter, can't they? I'm really stupid. They can stop me just drawing the card. I just wasted 2 mana. Yep. I saw it. I saw it eventually. Yep. You're right, Kaylee. For sure. It's fine. We like miss out on 2 mana, but it's not the end of the world. We still got the Thopter off the board, which is what I cared about. Bomat. Courier. Okay. Probably just going to cast out the Courier and then step, or they might pump it a bunch, which is also fine with me. If they pump the Courier a bunch, then I will cast out it, since they won't be able to cast the Planeswalker in their turn anymore. Yeah, this is good. Cool. Now they can't cast the Planeswalker, I'm very happy just casting this cast out. Teferi takes 2. Oh, did we take... Did they attack us instead? Huh. Plus Teferi. Could just Glimmer here, try and hit my land drops, right? Since we're going to be untapping lands anyway. I'm going to keep one of the lands. Okay. Opponent's just like 100% done with this game. Understandable. Right. I'm going to look at the sideboarding guide for Black-Red. So they seem like an aggressive version. So, according to Brad Nelson, he brings in negates, the meltdown, some spyglasses which we don't have, the invokes. It's so awkward though, we didn't see like any vehicles. I guess they're bringing in spyglasses. Bringing in both, and I guess it hits Courier as well, right? It's like not the worst against Courier. Just having like another way to remove that card. And takes out Fumigates. Blinks. And some mixture of like Essence Scatters and Approaches. I feel like Approaches pretty good against like the hand disruption and the Planeswalkers and stuff. I could also see it just not being necessary. Like the game doesn't change that much from like how that one played out, right? They brought in like some hand disruption, but they don't have counter spells or anything. I feel like this is fine. I feel like 3 negates is a lot of negates. Lyra, yeah, I was wondering about Lyra. It's kind of awkward. Lyra runs into Disintegration really badly, but she also just wins the game. She deals with Planeswalkers really well too, which is not irrelevant. This deck is very bad at answering Planeswalkers, and Lyra is very good against them. I'm unconvinced by like having all 3 negates in. I could see a second one maybe. What would the second negate be over? Maybe a card draw spell? Or like, or on the draw we could also just take out a Syncopate. I kind of like cutting the Glimmer here. We're bringing in like lots of other stuff to do. Yeah, that makes sense, King. I always bring in Lyra against like mono red. Against red-black it's a bit scarier because sometimes they keep in disintegrations, but then like sometimes they don't, and she's just like game winning. I think it's probably just correct to bring her in, regardless. Need some lands, but our spells are pretty good. Okay. They've not cast a threat yet, which is encouraging. I'm very okay with it when my black-red opponent just plays draw go for the first 2 turns. This one resolving is annoying. I guess we do have the settle to clean her up at some point though. Also have this ballista. I think I'm just gonna pass the turn here. And pray that we draw another land. Honestly, there's like a non-zero chance I meant to just seal away this turn, just to like buy myself some life. I guess I can do it on end step. It's not like I'm holding up counter mana for anything, but I guess them respecting counter mana is something. Yeah. That one's quite strong. Did not activate her. I guess I'm just gonna seal away this PNLR now. Save myself a bit of life. This Chandra is gonna be very hard to beat though. Kind of need to draw like running lands so we can Teferi her. That's half of the puzzle. I guess I'm just passing with Disallow up now. I could like Blister on 2, pop the Thopter, have a Blister on 1 in play, but then they cast like a Glorybringer or something like that and we lose the game. So two mana. Okay. Glory Bringer. Glory. Give them all the mana in the world. If we hit our 5th land drop, we get to tuck Chandra with Teferi. Buy ourselves a bit of time from that. Okay, Lyra's also a good one. Again, I could cast a Ballista on 2 and start threatening the Chandra. I think I think I just have to pass the turn with Disallow up this turn though. Oh my god, my article just went up, by the way. On SCG. Pretty happy with it. I will link it in chat. So, it's all about just like my experiences playing Tron this last weekend. My thoughts on various builds that did well. And like what I would personally choose to play, where I ended up on my own list. I'm pretty happy with the article. It's totally worth checking out. Oh my god, max punished for countering the Glorybringer. I decided to counter the Glorybringer because even though I could meltdown it, like, having the Glorybringer in play means they can always just kill our Lyra with Chandra plus Glorybringer. Obviously, did not work out. Or Tron. Oh my god. I think these Planeswalkers are going to be our undoing. Looking through the article to make sure. I'm pretty sure it all got published, which is great. I ended up like quite long because I got like really excited talking about the subject. So I was a bit worried that some of it might be trimmed down, but turned out the whole thing got published, which is great. Makes me very happy. Goblin Chainwalla, sure. Resolves. So obviously if they have a way to remove our Ballista, the Ballista only gets to do 1 damage, because it's got a damage marked on it. That will cause it to die after the first ping. That's also good. Ping Chandra, try and keep her away from ultimate. And they're going to grab the Phoenix from exile with Khan and cast it with Chandra. So this time we have to cast Lyra. Then we can use Teferi next turn to clear the Phoenix out of the way to hopefully hit Chandra with Lyra. To keep Chandra off ultimate range. Obviously this is not looking like the best situation in the world, but if my opponent bricks a lot, Lyra is like powerful enough to get there, right? Like she's gonna gain us some life, deal with their Planeswalkers. I guess they can have the Duress. Both those cards are pretty unbeatable. They're actually, like, probably meant to take the meltdown here, right? Since double spelling is one of the ways we can, like, try and get back into this. Oh, they're just gonna kill my Lyra? Yeah, that makes sense. And then we go to 5. Sadly, we boarded out all our fumigates, so I don't really think we have many answers to this situation. I guess I could Teferi plus hit Settle specifically. Then they just kill me with the Hazoret that's underneath their Khan, but I guess I try. Yep. Dead. Okay. On to game 3. So we get to be on the play again, which is nice. But that said, our opponent didn't really do much in the early stages of that game, so don't know if I want to change anything here. I think I kind of just want to run it back. Have a good time, give a little hug. See you around. Okay, I would like to go first. This seems fine. Needs a couple more lands. It was a bit soft to Planeswalkers, but I think this hand's perfectly reasonable. I'm actually just gonna like lead on Glacial Fortress. So that I can have Seal Away up on turn 2. Like, the way the hand's looking, I can play my tap land turn 3 anyway, right? So I can pass the turn, end of their turn, I can Seal Away the Bomi. If they don't cast a critter. That one might warrant a counterspell. She has a lot of damage. We have the Settle in a couple turns. I think I kind of like scattering her though. Okay, Plains is an amazing draw, jeez. Trying to figure out whether to seal away this Bomi or not. Like, it saves a couple damage and stops them ever getting to crack it. We do have to Settle though, which is probably going to get to eat up the Bomi if they attack with it too aggressively. Having the Seal with our Teferi is really nice. I think that's the selling point on not using it. Like, having Seal to pair with our Teferi is pretty huge. So we go to 17. They don't cast a creature, huh? In that case, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Empty the board. Okay. Got our 5th land for Teferi. We don't have a counter for a Planeswalker, which is a bit worrying. Like, if they slam a Karn here, we're actually in quite a bit of trouble. Yep. I feel like they should have -2'd there. But obviously it depends on what their hand is. Give them the scrap heap. If they -2, we don't get to Teferi eat this, but it's possible they have like a Chain Whirler in hand, right? If they have a Chain Whirler in hand, they get to eat this anyway. I'm actually now wondering if I can even afford to -2 on this because of Chain Whirler. They didn't cast the Chain Whirler turn 3. So like the chance they have one in hand is actually not that high. Yeah, I agree that we minus here. I think, yeah, exactly. They didn't have a Chain Whirler turn 3, so the chance they have one now is not that high. Yeah, this is great for us. Jeez. Get to untap with Teferi. We do need to find a counter for Karn at some point. That answers Karn. Okay, okay, we're in a very good spot now. So just do this, stop them having mana for like a Contempt or something. In our turn. Yep, tapping 2 lands is definitely correct, Caius, I agree. Some of these lists run like 1 or 2 Contempts. This is like maybe a bit too of an aggressive settle. But I do want to like exile this somehow, and I need the cast out for the Karn. So I'm just like keeping my Teferi on board is worth a lot. Holy cow. Yeah. That's pretty good. Okay. I guess I'm going to Teferi plus invoke this. Get my Teferi on board on 5 loyalty. Yeah, Eldest Reborn is definitely a card. The old red-black Teferi deck. Reanimate my Teferi. Okay, let's draw a card. Hit our land drop, which is kind of nice. End of turn, we untap 2 lands and can kill this before it makes us discard. And they're probably going to cast their Karn this turn, but we have a cast out for it. For sure, I was not expecting Eldest Reborn to see standard play, but I've seen it like pretty decent, be pretty decent out of people's sideboards. Please don't have Bomat Courier. Please don't have Bomat Courier. What? Okay. That's pretty disgusting. So they get to kill Teferi here. We know they have a Khan in hand, so their hand is like pretty good. And we have to save the cast up for the Khan, so we're going to be taking some damage in the meantime. Assume they just want to like cast the Khan this turn. Oh my god. Massive host from the Oracle 888. Thank you so much for that big host. Welcome to everyone joining us. We're playing some standard at the moment. We're playing some blue-white approach in standard, which is not going the best. But I'm kind of enjoying it. And then after this league is done, I'm planning on playing some cube. Should be starting cube within like the next hour, which I'm pretty hype about. It's like actually gonna be my first time drafting the vintage cube since it went back up, because I've had like so many events to prepare for. I've just not had a chance, so I'm really looking forward to playing some of that afterwards. Okay, we're gonna go to 16. I'm gonna get rid of this Khan. End of turn. We've only been through one of the settles so far, so we should be able to find another one with our search if we run a bit lucky. I guess it's actually a bit awkward. We don't get to flip search here, do we? So we only have the 5 cards in our yard. I could... I think I can't afford to crack Memorial. I just need to find like relevant interaction this turn off my search spray. Okay. I guess now we are cracking Memorial this turn. I might as well do it now to see what I can find. I guess we'd have still had enough mana to activate search. You're right, Kaylee. If we hit the land drop right. And then we'd still get to activate this and dig for a settle, which is what we'd really care about. Am I saving this Ballista? I would take 7 and go to 9. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5. Can kill both of these. I guess if we hit the land drop, we can do Ballista on 2, kill both of these, Teferi minus on Glorybringer. I'm kind of inclined to just not cast this. You just kill the Bomat. The Bomat is scary. It also makes this construct smaller, which is nice. Like, means we take 2 less damage next turn. I actually kind of like that. Our mana's going to be really taxed as well once this flips. So just like using our mana in some form is appealing. That makes sense. So really looking to find a settle the wreckage here. We have a bunch of looks at it between like the scry, the activation. Worst case scenario, we can like tuck the Glorybringer to save ourselves a bit of time. Mono red or red black? That's a good question. I feel like red black mid range should be better for blue white just because it's a bit slower. The Planeswalkers are really scary, but the fact the deck is slower is better for you. Once they start having like couriers in, once they're like more aggressive red-black lists, it's a bit scarier though. Ooh, so this is 9 damage. They're forcing us to have the settle next turn, which is scary. We have to bin this just because it isn't a settle. We just need to find a settle. So I guess we do this. Just like get digging. It gains me life when it destroys the construct. So I guess I just play this and pass the turn, right? And then I can invoke the Divine this and gain some life. I got to 11. If they attack with everything and just like completely disrespect settle, I go down to 3. But then I get to untap and have another dig. Invoke now. No, if I don't invoke now, there's like a small chance my opponent plays around settle. I feel like. I feel like my opponent playing around settle is one of the ways I can actually win this game. Okay, they're officially not playing around settle this turn. Okay, we'll go for this. Kill the construct. They take me to Teferi and put me to 3. If they have a removal spell, we die, but so be it. Okay. So we're down to 3. They do only have creatures on board though. I'm just going to play my land and pass. How much mana do we have? We can activate... We can't activate Search and Memorial whilst finding removal. So I guess we're just going to be activating Search. This puts me to 2. Okay. Doesn't really change the situation much. We still just need to find removal. They might attack with 2 creatures here, because then they force me to find like specifically a settle. I guess attacking with just this almost does that, since they've already seen both invokes. Yeah, exactly, stream team. Okay, so crossing my fingers here. Skill game. I mean, it's still pretty bad for us. We still need to, like, draw another sweeper almost. But we live one more turn, which is nice. Okay. Guess I just pass the turn again. I don't have Fumigates in my deck at the moment, I think. Yeah, all the Fumigates are on the sideboard, so we just get to play at instant speed here anyway. Cool, forcing us to have it again. Means we die, right? Because I guess we can cycle cast out, so we're not technically dead yet. The suspense though, the suspense. Alright, GG's. That was not the most encouraging league for Blue-White Approach. We were having like a lot of success yesterday with like the blue-black based like interactive decks. But kind of felt like people were like decently prepared for this. I'm gonna open like a pity treasure chest. Okay. I don't know, that was not the most encouraging one.